Hello everyone, Bernard here. I am excited to present to you a new feature in our student management system called Tasks. The Tasks feature allows you to better manage the tasks within your organization by automatically or manually adding these tasks, assigning them to your staff, and monitoring their progress. So in this new feature, you will expect a lot of new additions and changes in the system, and I'm here to show to you some of those changes and what to expect once the feature has been released. And the first one I'd like to share to you, and one of the important additions, is the My Task page. So if you go to the profile icon, you will see there a My Task button. Clicking on that will redirect you to the My Task page. So this page is in what we call the Kanban style, where you can see different columns representing the different status of your task. So you have the open column, in progress, overdue, and completed. All the assigned tasks to you will first be put into the open column. And once you progress through this task, they will be moved into different columns. The cool thing here is that you can actually do that manually. So you can easily drag and drop the task from one column to another, depending on where you are at with your progress on that specific task. An important thing to note here is that tasks can be assigned to you individually as an individual staff, or it can be assigned to a group. If you are part of that group, or what we call organizational units, that task will also come up into your open column tasks. Okay, now to view the details of the task, so click on the view icon or the view button in that specific task for you to see the details. So for this task, this has been assigned to the organizational unit called admin. And my account is part of that admin group, therefore it's also showing in my open column. Now, if I want to go further and see the details of this task, I can easily do that by clicking on the Edit Task button. Okay, so here I can see the due date. Of course, I can add a checklist if there's any specific checklist here that I need to add. I'll talk more about checklists later. And an important thing that I'd like to discuss here is the section where it says all individuals must complete yes or no. So this means that even though the task is assigned to the admin organizational group, not everyone in that group is required to complete the task. It means at least one person within the group must be able to complete this task. Okay, so I'll show you how to take the task. So if since I'm one of the admin group and I want to do this task, I can take it by moving the task from the open column to the in progress column. And to do that, you just click on the task and drag it over to the in progress column. Right, so now that I have moved the task, you can see that it has been taken by me, all right, by my account. Okay, so this is one of the amazing things with the Kanban style because it makes it more efficient. If you're already familiar with the task that you're working on, you don't necessarily need to manually edit the status. You can just change the status by moving them from one column to another. Also here in the My Task page, you can add a task. So if you want to add a specific task for yourself or for another staff member or the specific group, just click on the Add Task button, complete the details, and then you'll be able to add specific tasks. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, they will all go directly to the open column. It is an important thing to remember that all tasks are required to have a due date. Now that is the My Task page. What I'm going to do next is to give you a very quick walkthrough on the different parts of the SMS that has changes due to the task feature implementation. Don't worry, we have a lot of detailed tutorials available in our website, so just go to our website and go to our help center. We will provide you there a lot of detailed tutorials to discuss these different parts. In the meantime, I'll just give you a quick walkthrough of what to expect in those different pages, in different sections of the SMS. Without further ado, I'll go ahead with the settings page. In the settings page, you will see there a new tab called organizational units. As I mentioned earlier, you're able to assign tasks not just to individual staff, but also to teams or groups. So to create those groups, you need to create what we call an organizational unit. In my example here, I have two organizational units, one for the admin team and one for trainers. So if I want to create a task and assign that to the trainers, I'll assign that to the organizational unit called admin. The same thing if I want to assign a task to trainers. All right, the next thing you need to go through is the templates page. So once you go to the templates, you will see there are two kinds of new tabs added. So we have here the task templates and the checklist. For the task templates, this is an important feature wherein you're able to create templates for your routine tasks in your organization. So later on, I'll show you why they are important. But if you have a lot of routine tasks in your organization and you want to incorporate these tasks in your organizational workflows, we advise that you create them in the task template section. The next tab is what we call checklist. So we are aware that there are a lot of tasks in an RTO or in your organization that may require the need or the use of checklists. So you can actually create this checklist template, especially for routine tasks or tasks that are repetitive. You can already create this checklist and incorporate that checklist into the specific task so that when you open the task, the checklist is already there. To give you an example, I'll go back to my tasks and view one of my in-progress tasks called application receive task template. If I click view on that task, I will see the incorporated checklist. So if I'm completing this task, I can easily tick off each of the items as I'm progressing through this specific task. Okay, you can do that one by one or as above. Then click save. Awesome. So that's the checklist. All right. Next one is what we call the workflow. The workflow is found in the programs menu. Go ahead to your program instances and select a program instance. In the program instance you have selected, you will see a new tab called workflows. In workflows, you will be able to create a specific task workflow depending on your organizational process and structure. So in the example here, we created a workflow for accepting enrollment. So when we have received an application, and once that application is moved to an enrolled status, the system will automatically trigger tasks depending on the task template that you have created earlier. So as I mentioned, this is where the task template comes in handy. So if you already created a task template, you incorporate that to this workflow, and once the system triggers that workflow, it will create a task to the intended users. So for example, we have here application received. So once I receive an application, an enrollment, for example, the workflow here will trigger a task for the admin team to look into that application and review the requirements. Okay, so that is the workflow. So this is the automation that will really save you time in assigning different tasks to your staff and teammates. All right, so that is how you set up your task. So how you add your task, set up the workflows, the different templates that you need to work on. Another cool feature of the task is the ability to create tasks relating to specific users. So for example, I want to create a task, but only specific to one student. So I can actually do that. So I go to the student page, select a test student. There I will see a button called add task. So I can add here a task that one of the staff can do or I can do, but only specific for this student. Okay, so that's a feature that you can do here. You can also do the same thing for groups. So if you want to create a task that's related to a specific group, you can do so. So just select the group that you want to check. And from that group, you will see a button that's called Add Task. Again, it's the same procedure. Click the Add Task button, fill out the form so that you can create the task in, that will be assigned to a staff member or to yourself, but is intended for that specific group. The same can be done for companies. So if you have agents or third party partners or organizations working with you, and you want to create tasks specifically for them, you just go to companies, click on the task tab, and click on the add task button. And lastly, you're also able to do this within your organization under the people page. So for people, you can click on any one of your staff. And if you want to create a specific task related to this person or to the specific staff, you can go ahead and go and click on the task tab, click add task, and same process, put the title of the task, add the description of what the task is about, and then complete the rest of the form. And that's basically it, guys. That's the new task feature in the SMS. As I mentioned earlier, to learn more about this new feature, I invite you to go to our website and check out our Help Center for all the tutorials so that you can practice and implement the task feature as soon as you can. For any other questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to us by sending us an email to support@eskilled.com.au. Thank you so much for your time and have a great day.